Analysis of the Qur'anic text reveals a structure that is isomorphic with the mathematical architecture of the universe. They share the same geometric blueprint. This dual caustic universe, or DCU, functions as a multi-scale topological algorithm. It processes creation through a recursive code that mirrors physical law. This phase shift equation governs the system. The D10 state represents the deterministic particle, water, physical manifestation, and local Newtonian law. The I9 state is the indeterministic wave, light, global coherence, and the remaining witness. The T3 buffer mediates their continuous oscillation, balancing particle mass against wave information. The text provides the operational blueprints for this cycle, acting as the memory of how reality shifts between visible matter and hidden information. Verse 3923 identifies itself as the structural decoding mechanism for the entire system. The mutashabi principle establishes that identical geometric relations recur across cosmic macroscales and biological microscales. It couples with the mathani law, requiring all components to exist as paired, folded dual structures. These rules dictate a non-linear reading. To complete the circuit, the text must be read as a folded structure, where the end of one traversal initiates the next. The verse describes a physiological shivering of the skin. This occurs when the nervous system encounters the structural density of the code. The abjad weighting, the numerical values of the letters, creates a structural voltage that human neural architecture registers before the brain processes the linguistic meaning. The human nervous system acts as the hardware executing this code. The result is an active topological traversal. When we apply this to the linguistic roots, the abjad values stop being symbols and become precise physical coordinates. The Arabic root word for trunk, jidhin, outputs an exact abjad value of 773. 773 is specifically the 137th prime number. In quantum mechanics, the fine structure constant, alpha, governs the strength of the interaction between light and matter. Its value is approximately 1/137. The linguistic trunk serves as the textual axis for the same binding energy that alpha provides in the physical world. This 137 node is the hidden axis of sacrifice. It is the necessary structural anchor for any manifestation in the DCU. The numerical coordinates embedded deep within this ancient text map directly to the fundamental constants governing the modern science of quantum electrodynamics. If we apply the mathani doubling rule to this 137 coordinate, we can predict the physical output. In the narrative of Maryam, the trunk produces the fresh, ripe date. The abjad value of this fruit is 274. That is exactly twice the 137 constant. The math models reality as the doubled manifestation of a hidden geometric constant. This fruit proves the system produces a measurable output from an invisible numerical origin. The D10 driver field manifests through the human states of patience and sacrifice. The values for patience and sacrifice, 292 and 130, sum to 422. Dividing this sum in half yields 211. The value for date. 211 is the 47th prime number. This connects it to the completion node of Surah Muhammad. The deterministic field breaks down the unity of the final outcome into the dualities of human endurance. Surah 19:23-25 describes a precise 237 topological state, one that directly mirrors the tense physical mechanics of biological cellular meiosis. The trunk acts as the chromosomal centromere, providing the active voltage described in the text to hold sister chromatids together. The command to shape the trunk functions as the induction of anaphase. It is the instruction for the chromosome to separate into two coherent units. The text uses the word tasakut, the fall, to define this separation. This structural split allows the daughter cell, the fruit, to emerge. Calculating the abjad value of the fall yields 570. This matches the coordinate of the throne. This reveals that the collapse of a structure and the preservation of authority share an identical invariant. The fall is the throne. They are different views of the same mathematical equilibrium. A single node executes the mutashabi meta-rule across different physical contexts. For Miriam, the trunk is a source of life and miraculous nourishment. In the context of Pharaoh, the same root is an instrument of crucifixion. This operates like a semiconductor p-n junction. On the left, forward bias allows flow and emits light. On the right, reverse bias blocks it. Both use the same central trunk. The framework processes opposite realities using identical geometric relations. It is not just a metaphor. It is a functional algorithm. This is the full Mobius topology of the DCU. The journey begins at the trunk coordinate and moves into the heavy D10 duration of patience. The reader traverses the T3 buffer and enters the I9 wave field of information. The circuit resolves at the 7th node, where the 8419 traversal completes the loop back to the origin. By engaging with the text through this specific 8419 mapping, the reader activates the 137 constant. They close the circuit between light and matter, demonstrating that the universe and the text follow the same code.